have an update on the building the box for the air conditioner for installation. We have the top frame done. Down here I have the bottom frame done, and I have two side ones done, so those will go on the side. So the next step is to cut out some luan to put on the underneath side of it, and then once we get that box made, we'll test, make sure it fits okay, and then we'll start putting some insulation in there, and then we'll sheet the whole box on the outside again. So next step is put some luan on the inside. It's going to go on the inside closest to the air conditioner. That protects the insulation from getting tore up as you're putting it on and off. So we're going to go back and cut some plywood and put some skin on the inside. Okay, we have the plywood cut, the luan cut for each of the top and the bottom, and here is for the side and the other side. So what I'll do now is I'll fasten these down to it, and they may have to trim up a little bit, and then we'll start fastening together, and then we can start working on the back of it. This is the top, the bottom, and sides. I still have the back to make one for, and I'll come back once I get these nailed down together. Well, we have our luan fastened on the outside of them. So now what we'll do is we'll make that box. We'll get all that box together, and then we're going to start taking a look at fastening it up to the outside frame. This outside frame over here is what we're going to fasten this to. So what we'll do is we'll put a screw through here and into that other frame to hold that. We'll put a little glue on there to, make it a little more solid. But that's where we're at. So we'll come back when we get these all formed together into a box, and then we'll go from there. Now we have the box put together and fitting on the outside of it, and there's a little bit of gap in here, so we have plenty of room in here. Now what we'll do is we'll make a back piece to go on the back of here, and we'll put sheeting on there, and then we're going to be going up in here on these ridges right in here. Before we put insulation in, we're going to screw it to this board here, and then this whole thing will come off for the summertime. Wintertime we'll put it, and we'll have some we'll fasten it with some screws into these boards here. That's how we'll hold it in the wintertime, and if we get snow on it, we'll just have to come clean it off. So that's the next step here, is we'll go ahead and build that back piece and fasten it to the outside frame. Getting a little bit closer now. I've got the frame is now bolted to or screwed to the back frame, so this will come off all as one unit now, and it seems to want to sit here pretty good by itself. So we'll continue this another day. It's starting to get dark here, and we got maybe another hour before it gets dark, and I need to put all my tools away. So that's where we're at. We'll come back and we'll finish this outside. We'll insulate it and then seal the outside. All right, you pulled the unit off the back of the air conditioner. We put the back in here. So now what we're going to do is we're going to start putting insulation in and put a plywood on the bottom is actually up here on the top. So we're going to start insulating it, and we'll put plywood on it to hold it. As you can kind of see, we have some pretty good winds today, so we're kind of working inside the garage as much as we can, and keeping the sawdust outside and working in a little bit out of the wind. But you can see all the leaves are blowing. They're blowing uphill. Normally you think they blow downhill, but no, wind's coming from the south here today, and it's really windy out. So we're going to work on this a little bit more. We'll cut the plywood for the bottom, and then we'll insulate it, and then we'll fasten it down, and we'll just kind of work our way around. We have the insulation in now, and now the next step is to go ahead and put the luan on there to cover it up, hold it in. It's windy, and we're kind of fighting the wind moving us around because this stuff is really thin stuff. This is how thick it is here. So we're putting 4 layers of this in there is what we're having to put in there. And as you can see, the wind's just taking stuff away, so we're fighting the wind. So I need to get back and get this cover on here, fire up the generator for the air compressor, and put that on there so we can quit holding it down. Well, here's the cover I made for the air conditioner. So the air conditioner go in here. Remember, I had to put a little slot in here to cover for the fins, and this slides around there really nice and tight. This is where I cut holes for those bolts, but I ended up cutting them off, so I didn't really need them, but it does help me tell where's the top and bottom. And then here's the side. We'll walk around here. Here's the back and the top, and then the other side, and then the bottom is also done. Don't know if we can see it too well here, but yeah, the bottom is all done, so it's solid. Now what we need to do next is to put some paint on it, prime it up, and I want to make sure I get this sealed up right around here where that's in there. Make sure I get some good filling in there and paint, get that painted up good. Be nice to put some little round on there, but the problem if you do that now, then the little slope in here, the snow won't roll off, and it should roll off and drip down on this on the side. So that's what it is. The next thing I do is I come back and I'll show you when we get it primed and painted. Not sure what color we're going to paint it. The house is kind of a light tan, so I may paint it the same color so it just kind of disappears with the house. Let's see if I have enough of that paint left, but I'll come back once I get it painted and show you what it looks like. Well, I've got primer on here. I put primer on it and sealer. I got 2 coats on here all the way around. Now what I'll do is I'll flip it so I can do the bottom side, put 2 coats on there, and then we'll put some paint on it and we're ready to go. So that's kind of where we're at now. We'll have it all painted with the first coat of the paint. I did find some that's real close to the color of the house. And we have one of our cats that likes to hop up on the air conditioner and look inside when he wants in. And as you can see, he decided while I was standing out here painting to hop up here, and you can see up on the top he left his footprints up there. So I hollered at him, he hopped back down, and so now I got to touch that up. But now he's got paint on the bottom of his feet. It's weird, I didn't think he'd hop up there while I was standing out here. Now all I need to do is fasten it to the house. Right now it's just sitting on there. I'm going to go ahead and paint it, and then what I'll do is I'll run a bead of caulking around all these seams, and then we'll have it all ready. We may have to put a seal back here to see how good it seals up. We might have to put a little piece in down here to help seal it up, but that's going to be a whole lot better than putting up the plastic. The plastic worked pretty good. It kept the wind out, but this will also give a little bit of insulation on there too. So we'll see how that works this year. But back up here at a distance, see what it looks like. Instead of having no air conditioning sit there, that's what it looks like. Old fuel tank that we had when we first got the house, that had an oil burner in here, and that's one of the first things I took out. It wasn't working anyway, just leaking on the floor. And still have the tank here because there's still some fuel in there, so I kind of use it for other things. But that's what it looks like now, and another coat on there and it'll start looking pretty good. So we've got some touching up to do on here yet, but that's what it looks like now.